Alright, so I'm just going to get right into this tutorial. This is a little bit of MAC Strobe Cream with Clinique Primer, which I mixed together. I've already moisturized, and I'm mixing the primer with the Strobe Cream because I want the skin to be really well prepped, and now I'm moving on to the eyes, so that way by the time I finish the eyes, all of this stuff will have soaked into the pores and I'll be ready to go. So I just did a little bit of soft ochre on the lids, and now I'm just grooming the brows a little bit with my Velux brow pencil. These are my favorite actually at the moment, and then just combing it through. I'll come back to those, but this is just for now to get started. I like to kind of do the brows. So now I've got the Naked 2 Basics palette. So they have a 1 and a 2 Basics. They're similar. This one is actually a cooler toned palette, as you can see, and I'm using these two middle colors, and I'm just picking up a little bit of each, and I'm just working it into the crease to give me basically a starting point, a little definition, really light, very small amount of product, and then I am buffing it, buffing it, buffing it, buffing it with this fluffy brush. So it's all kind of working it in, buffing it out. Now I am moving on to the Naked 3 palette, which I was kind of late in the game getting, and I'm so glad I got it. It's so pretty, and I'm using this like light toned color, as you can see, and I'm just buffing that over where I already did the Naked 2. Now I'm moving on to this pinky color, and I'm so sorry that I don't have all the names. It's just like a pink shimmery color, and I'm using the flat side of this brush, and I'm just patting it on the lid, working it in, trying to minimize the fallout, but that's why I do the foundation after, so that I can, you know, sweep away all the fallout. And as I just showed you, just a little more buffing, and now I'm adding this lighter color just on the inner corner, and then kind of sweeping it onto the lid. This liner that I just showed you is just a dark purple liner. It's the L'Oreal Eye Studio liner, and I was curious about trying them, so I picked one up, and I have to say it's pretty good, and I'm just kind of working that along the lash line and into the lashes as well, so you don't see a gap. And I won't show you the entire process, but as you can see, it's just a little bit at a time, just kind of making it better, filling it in, you know, little strokes, pulling away and checking it out. So I've done both sides, as you can see, and then I'm going in with a little bit darker of the Naked Basics color, those two colors all the way to the right, and I'm just working that into the outer V and just creating a little bit more definition and a little more depth. What I usually do is I start with the eyes, I move on to the foundation, and then I go back to the eyes to kind of polish it off, kind of see where I'm at. So this is just like my first round at the eyes. Lots of buffing, now foundation. This is Studio Fix foundation, which I really enjoy. It can be a little bit matte because it has a lot of powder in it. It's ideal if your skin is oily. So that's why I started with the primer mixed with a little bit of the Strobe Cream. And then I just put this all over my face, stippling with this Sigma F80, working it in especially to the places that I need more coverage, like my cheeks where I have hyperpigmentation. And then I just kind of buff it in and swirl it around. You can see it's a little bit yellow, but I like that it's more of a yellow tone. This is a NC20. That C means cool, which means yellow in MAC language. It really brightens up your skin, and yellow is just universally flattering. So now I'm taking this dark brown, and I'm sorry I don't know the name. It doesn't really matter. It's just a dark chocolate brown, and I'm sweeping that along the lower lid, along where I did that gel liner. I'm not trying to smudge the gel liner. I just want to soften it so it's not too defined. And I'm taking that same dark color, and I'm just sweeping it on my lower lash line with a thin brush. So now this is my Studio Fix concealer. Is it Studio Fix concealer? It's MAC Studio concealer, and this is an NW15, so it's a little bit pinker and it's a little bit lighter, which is why I also use it as my highlighter. And I use this under my eyes, down my nose, Cupid's bow, and then where it goes from my eyes down to where the cheekbone meets, I just kind of buff it in so it smooths it out and it gives me a little extra coverage, but it would be too light to use all over my face, so it's mostly a highlighting concealer. And then I take the same foundation brush and I just smooth it out and blend it in. And then with that brush, you know, I'll wipe it off mid-use and then go back, because you don't want too much product to accumulate on your face, or it'll get cakey, and as your face moves and you talk and you express yourself all day, you'll end up getting all these lines. This is a dark purple paint pot, and I don't know the name offhand. You know what I'll do is I'll list them all in the description box. This is a dark paint pot, and I just dragged that underneath in my waterline just to give myself a little more like haziness to the eyes. And then I'm just taking that warm pink color that I just showed, dragging it under the eyes. A little bit of powder, buffing everything in, smoothing it all out, just to make sure that there's not too much product. Lots of lashes, curling the lashes, and then I'm going to apply as much mascara as I can get on my lashes without making them look like tarantulas. I love this Maybelline Rocket Volume Express. I think it's probably my favorite drugstore mascara. It's got the rubber wand, so it really defines your lashes. Great product. That was a quick glimpse of Benefit Rockateur Blush, which is kind of like a golden rose color. It's got a shimmer in it, so it gives you a little highlight. And then the lipstick is MAC Captive with MAC Soar lip liner, and it's Soar, S-O-A-R, Soar. And it's kind of like a pinky rose and a little bit of the Captive. Not too much product because I kind of want it to almost be like a berry stain. It's a satiny color, so it's not super shiny, it's not super matte, but if you use a little bit of the product, it just kind of blends in nicely. So that's the look. I hope you guys like it. Bye-bye.